What is up, SmackNPie here, and welcome to something completely different. As you guys know, we do Dark Deception and Five Nights at Freddy's videos on the channel. However, today we're going to do something completely different today, and I guess you've already guessed it from the title. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Showdown Bandit, a new game from the makers of very popular Bendy and the Ink Machine. So today, most specifically, we're looking at Showdown Bandit gameplay and release date trailer to be exact, and that's what we're going to do today. Obviously, I still have a couple of things left to do before my face cam setup is decent enough to make videos on, so you might have to watch this reaction. It's a reaction nonetheless from my voiceover. Anyways, we're going to react to it, give my thoughts on what I think is happening and what's going on overall. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, I'm not going to stop every nanosecond, but in the opening shot, we can hear wood-ish like sound, almost like someone is sitting on the wooden chair. You know those wooden chairs your grandpa or grandma would sit on and they would make those crunchy type of sounds? That's creepy. If I ever see anyone in the dark sitting on that chair, I don't care if they're my best friend. We're done there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going out of that house and you're not going to see me ever again. But let's see what else we got. Okay, so there are a lot of things going on here. Firstly, we're seeing this from late 40s or even 30s-ish. The reason I'm saying 30s because this one, the television, looks exactly similar to those back in that time. But obviously it is very old school theme. It doesn't matter if it's 1930s or 1940s. I mean, it's not Five Nights at Freddy's. Dates doesn't matter here, ladies and gentlemen. One more thing I have to say though, the graphics and the art, it is very good. I'm gonna say it here. I was very skeptical about it at first, mainly because I had no idea what we're learning here or what this game is all about. But now seeing this shot, ladies and gentlemen, it makes me very excited about the game, because one of the things I love about Kindly Beast, as they would like to call it now, is their art. Their visuals of how they stand out in the gaming market, and this is just another example of why so many people love their work, what they do. I'm talking millions of people around the world. Also, on the other hand, there are some posters that we can see on the wall. Of course, I want to save small little details that requires bigger explanations for later video, but for now we can see that whoever this room belongs to was a massive fan of the show that's known as Showdown Bandit. We're also seeing merch down there, lunchbox, and I'm saying it here, ladies and gentlemen, Kindly Beast will release Showdown Bandit themed lunch boxes as their merchandise. Mark my word here. But yeah, Showdown Bandit is definitely a popular TV show in late 30s and 40s, and this story is revolving around that show and that time specifically. Cool, let's see what else we got.
Hey, kids! Oh, somebody get that no-good Showdown Bandit! Get your hands off me!
Also, again, I'm sorry for pausing every other bit. I know this is a reaction, not a deep analysis, but from this poster specifically, I don't know if you've noticed this, but alongside the Showdown Bandit, the name of the creators, it is vitally visible. Now, it's easy to overlook this, and I might be wrong and this might be a stretch, but if you go into an indie developer's mind, especially with the history of Bendy and the Ink Machine, they don't make things out of blue, especially texts. They don't make them visible for no reason, so I'm hoping and I'm speculating that these two gentlemen, these two creators, will have a significant impact on the story of the Showdown Bandit. But we'll need more than this text to make it a solid theory. So let's keep on going. Okay, maybe I'm wrong here, but is it just me or the second poster looks like there's another twist to the story? Okay, hear me out. From the audio we can hear the first poster, Showdown Bandit, is all happy, yay! But as soon as we get to second poster, we hear this.
Oh, somebody get that no-good Showdown Bandit!
And then we see this poster. Now, generally speaking, there's nothing wrong with this. It is actually very cute. But look at Bandit. He's in angry mood. Look at the sky. Okay, this might be a stretch, but there might be someone else controlling Bandit. And I'm not talking about the player of the game. And we might experience that in the game or story. Because I don't think Bandit is supposed to look like that or stand like that. Maybe he is. I'm wrong, maybe. Hey, I'm just speculating here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep on going.
Get your hands off me!
Wait, hold on just a second. Nah, ladies and gentlemen, nah. You can't just show me that picture and expect me to move on and say nothing. What happened here? Miss Undertaker? What? Okay. I didn't know Kindly Beast were a wrestling fan too. Because if I'm correct, that is a lady version of WWE superstar, or should I say legendary superstar, The Undertaker, from that wrestling TV show. And they're taking that idea? You know what? I like it. On a serious note though, she's definitely creepy out here. Look at her. Look at that creepy looking face, but I'm more focused on the dialogues here. Firstly, she said, "Get your hands off of me." That means that Miss Undertaker is an AI buddy? I hope so. Because so far the whole theme looks lonely, in fact very lonely if you ask me, and we could definitely use some help here, or an AI buddy or company. And now that we got Miss Undertaker on our side, I'm sure Mr. Undertaker wouldn't mind, things will get even more exciting. Hopefully. Here's another take. This might be a companion of ours that we would meet later in the game, which will help us fight the enemies and stuff like that. I still don't know how the gameplay is going to go. How are they going to execute that, let alone the story itself? But this is exciting, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, friends, let's get ready for adventure!
Alright, look at Bandit. My god, he looks like he needs some rest. What happened to you? What went wrong, my friend? Go get some rest or some help. Okay, that's a joke. Please don't kill me.
Alright, friends, let's get ready for adventure!
Excuse me? Who is this again? Okay, I need some explanation to this, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, thanks Bright Light TV. Thank you, Bright Light from the television. You're really helping me out here. Secondly, this is the exact same room that we saw in the beginning of this trailer. But why here? What is this? What does this mean? I said initially that this might belong to a mad fan of the show. It could be the directors of the show as well. Remember, there was this director's seat in the very beginning promotional material of the game. So it could be a very important, of course it is an important element, of course it is an important piece of the story, of course it is an important character. What are you talking about? They're showing that for a wait a second, wait a minute, hold up guys, I might have just cracked a CIA code or something. So in the beginning I said we can hear a wooden chair sound, something related to that. What if this is the main person behind everything? What if he's the one that's directing and controlling the show? It could be a she as well. I need to start using they. Listen, we don't discriminate out here, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, this figure is an important one, and I'll look more into this afterwards. So if you know who this is, help me, please. Let me know through the comments.
Let's get you out of that box and out into the light.
Okay, I have to say, this is probably the best bit of the trailer thus far. The animations are so good, and Bandit is very cute in that puppet-ish character. However, I noticed Miss Undertaker's voice. Why were we in the box? How did she find us? Is she even Miss Undertaker, huh? Here's my initial speculation to this. This might be Bandit's reborn story. That is why Miss Undertaker, or whoever she is that's talking, knows who we are. She knows we've been here for a long time. There's a slight friendly attitude in her tone, which is a blessing for the story. But yeah, I think I'm starting to pull in all the pieces together, ladies and gentlemen. It looks fantastic, probably way better than I initially thought at first. It is exceeding my expectations greatly. I'm still concerned about the strings part though. I don't want it to look ingenuine. Yes, sure, guarding our strings as learned from first teaser is an important element, but we need to have some control. We need to have some life of Bandit in himself. I want to see some fight back in the character of Bandit so that we can fight for his escape, his freedom, and his life. But hey, I could be completely wrong. Who knows? Okay, firstly, that girl sound effect. I've heard it a million times now, but I like it here. It fits the theme, it fits the mood. This is a children's show after all. People used to watch puppet show back in 30s and 40s all the time. They were like the best thing ever. I don't have a personal story for this because I wasn't alive back then, duh. But I've heard stories and I've seen some old footages, and trust me when I say this, what we're getting now, we might think it is cancer, and for the most part, it is. But what we're getting now for kids is way better than what those kids got back in the late 30s and 40s. Like, that stuff in that time is a nightmare fuel for millennials like us, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me when I say this. Anyways, they got me again. I knew that it's gonna be from up top looking game, like upside looking game, mainly from the teaser that we got. However, the way it's shown here, it is a massive up in my book. I think this is the best it could get for a game like this, for a gameplay feature like this. I'm also noticing the click marks. That means that we're not going to be using WASD or arrows to move, rather we'll be using clicks and random buttons from our keyboard for Bandit's movement, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a big fan of that, but I hope they give more control, as in literal control of Bandit to the player, so we can move around a bit more freely rather than just point and click, which, just for the record, I have no problem with those type of games either. I used to play them a lot back in the day, but yeah, it's a new thing. It is a fresh take on horror game, a necessary take nonetheless. We're also seeing these abandoned creatures, these creepy crawlies or whatever their name is, so that's that.
It's a big, scary world out here.
Okay, so we're seeing a cutscene here within the gameplay, which I'm assuming that that's how it's going to look whenever we play and we get the cutscene in the game, which is crazy because out of this puppet props on show equipment, it is completely dark. It is a pitch black thing, giving the idea that that pitch black represents the audience, and then there's this big light above Bandit. The real question is, who's looking at us? Who's taking control of our streams? Is it us, the player? But I like the cutscenes part.
The show must go on.
Okay, I don't know if she's an antagonist, or she's an AI buddy, or a helper, or villain secretary, evil girl, bad girl, good person. Like, I'm genuinely confused and curious as to what is her role in the story. Is she the puppet host? Is she the show host? Like, what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? If she's our friend, then she's going to get in trouble because of us, obviously. But what if she pretends that she's our friend? What if she pretends she's helping us, guiding us, but in reality, she's the real evil here, made and executed by that figure in the beginning who was watching this show, which I'm going to get to in just a bit. But there's another confusion. Are we playing the show, or are we exploring the show behind the scenes? Or is this an abandoned show? It mainly looks abandoned, so this can't be an ongoing show, but if it is, or let's say if it's a part of the actual show, we're in all sorts of danger. I don't know why, but it feels like Bendy-ish. It feels like Bendy and the Ink Machine. It gives like Bendy vibes, and I like it, and I'm all here for it. Let me know if you feel that too. Hello? Okay, I'm going to take that back. She's not going to get in any danger with that attitude. She can handle herself. In fact, that's an understatement of the century. Ladies and gentlemen, Bandit, you better stick with Miss Undertaker. Of course, it seems like there's some combat in this game. Just like Bendy and the Ink Machine had its own style of combat, this time we're getting a bit more aggressive. And she seemed friendly before. You see, that's why I can't decide. Is she with us or against us? Like, hello? But seriously though, the animations, they are clean and very neat. Nice. Okay, this might be a gameplay feature reveal, but firstly, that spider right there, I'm having some nightmare fuel out here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, this was revealed prior to the teaser of the game, but it seems like there will be timely events. We might need to move from certain areas before time runs out, as in some areas might be triggerful. Step on those areas, that will trigger something, and you will have to move away from that specific area. This could be played as a good tactic to kill other enemies or to get away from them. We could use this against creepy crawlies and spiders and so many more. Nice. Okay, wait a second, ladies and gentlemen. What happened here? Full-blown boss fights? Okay, maybe not that far, but it seems like this game is going for that action stealth genre. It's going there. I also noticed two things. One is that the enemy is stunned here, so there might be something that has happened before we got to this sequence. Like I said earlier, boss fights? No? maybe? And number 2, Bandit is holding that gun we saw in promotional posters of Showdown Bandit show. If that's actually the case, this will make it a bit hard to fight, as these guns are kind of props. These are like toys. You can't shoot them for a long range distance. Rather, someone that is a bit closer, which in this case is the enemy. We might need to avoid its attack, stun them, and then get closer before finishing them off with our prop gun. That's one way to look at it. If this game has anything that's remotely close to what we're speculating here, I'm saying it right now, best indie game of 2019, period. And no, Dark Deception came in 2018, so yeah. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Kindly Beast. Thank you. You are my favorite indie developers of all time now. We're getting another episodic horror game, ladies and gentlemen. When was the last time you got an episodic horror game, apart from Dark Deception? That's right, Bendy and the Ink Machine. And it's been so long since that game. So, yeah, I'm all in. August 29th, which is later this month. So I'm actually genuinely super excited for this, honestly. They got me now. So make sure to add this to your wish list on Steam right now. You can add this on your wish list. Link will be in description. I'll put it there. I know I will be pre-ordering this game, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully. There's one last thing in the trailer which I'm not going to address here because it's mainly lore based, and that is these final frames. It reveals someone new. We can't completely see it, but it reveals something new, the biggest threat of the game, the big enemy. I'll leave that, ladies and gentlemen, for another video. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been a ride, an amazing start to what I believe will be the best experience in the form of this stealth action game. But before I end this video, I was reminded by Mike from Super Horror Bro that there's some interesting pieces of information on Steam page of this game. Quote, something unnatural is stirring on the abandoned sets of the once popular kids puppet show, Showdown Bandit. Play as the awakened bandit in this stealth action horror where your only hope of survival is entangled within the 3 rules of the show. Play your part, guard your strings, and don't look up. Okay, so this explains why Bandit was reborn and why those creepy crawlies look abandoned. Wait a second. Abandoned, you say? And we're back into abandoned set? The figure in the early shots of the trailer, director's seat, play your part. Guys, I know where this story is going, ladies and gentlemen. I think I got it. But there's more. Quote, beware, for years kids tuned in to watch the televised puppet world of Showdown Bandit, whose colorful cast performed in front of live audience of ecstatic children. Then, without warning, the show was unceremoniously cancelled and the studio props and puppets were left to rot. Yet, somehow, the show lives again and you are in the spotlight. Take control of the bandit himself and explore the dilapidated sets of what was once glorious Showdown Valley in this top-down stealth action horror game from the makers of Bendy. Try not to lose your wits or your strings as you sneak through the shadowy sets past a menagerie of eerie enemies and helpful inhabitants. Fight only when you must. Don't be afraid to explore the creepiest, darkest corners, as even the smallest clues could help you answer the biggest question of them all. Who is really pulling the strings? End quote. Okay, wow. So firstly, cancellation of the show and reborn of the Showdown Bandit show, including monsters. Secondly, fight only when you must, huh? This means that this game's combat is limited, as in you shouldn't be wasting your time with every enemy. Limited resources maybe, or limited time. As they mentioned, spotlight. If this is abandoned, who's controlling the spotlight? Or as they would like to ask, who is really pulling the strings here, ladies and gentlemen? What is really going on here? Man, I'm super excited for this game. They got me super hyped, and I cannot wait for this. I'll be making deep explanation and analysis video into this game very soon, as well as Let's Play with Facecam when this game drops, I hope. And trust me, that video is going to be shorter than this one. I'm just rambling out here. That is why why I don't do a lot of these sorts of videos, because I just speak my mind, I just speak my heart, and it goes on forever. Then I have to go through hell while I'm editing, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope, and I'm asking support and patience while I'm making these videos. It's hard to do 12 hours job, and I always say this every time, and make YouTube videos like this. Don't worry, facecam videos coming soon. I'm trying my best to start them as soon as possible. So thank you for your support. I know this would have been amazing with facecam, but we gotta do what we gotta do. I've ordered a lot of things for facecam, so that's coming very soon. With that being said, make sure to let me know your theories and analysis down in the comments, and also make sure to like this video if you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe right now to become an official member of the Smack Empire. I'm Smack, and until next time, play your part, stay safe, and peace.